You're not moving.
Oh, no. Yeah, now we can see.
Oh, he moved a bit. I think he's fine now.
I'm back.
We'll be back shortly.
Yeah, you're back. It's fine now. That was weird. Well, how can we hear you and then this thing just
We're back.
froze?
We're live now.
Temporary problems.
Like,
The fuck was
seriously,
Hold on, I have to go.
why do you have 10 views now? What's going
Hashtag
on?
blame Usman.
Are we live or not? Right, was this my YouTube? Let's refresh. Let's refresh.
Yeah, let's
we
go
are live.
switch
We're live
account.
now. We're back.
Oh my god.
Oh, we actually live?
That was so quick, man. Boom.
Yeah, we are live. Yeah. Well, as I'm invited, you go and do the Instagram thing. Yeah, do
I
that.
did it already.
You got the best keyboard.
You're not wearing it. Muhammad Jazz.
Why do you say it's too?
I don't know who that is.
And he downed my ability to come on time. I came on time.
You literally didn't.
Yeah, I did.
You just didn't though. You started the stream
Came
for
on
like
5
10 minutes and then you
actually.
came on, you spaz. This
Oh,
Mbappe,
fair enough.
Havertz and Haaland era is going to be so much fun. How are you sneaking in Havertz? Get out of there, man. Guys are waste, man. About Havertz. I like Havertz.
I have just.
Hello, comparable.
He's down. I thought he could do all the season, but hey,
Okay. Well, we're back, but we'll see.
Hashtag blame Muslim.
Maybe I shouldn't record it. Maybe that's what.
Yeah, let's not record it. You don't need to record it.
Yeah.
We pretended to work at the grocery. Oh, is that where everyone is so crybaby?
Huh?
Volleyball coach reacts to Haikyuu. Yes, Haikyuu is so sick. What an anime, world class. Din 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 din.
In lifetime, I'm 2 seconds behind, I think. Well, cool. I'm just looking at the stream and this at the same time.
There's a bit of a delay between us and then the stream.
Oh, so I say fuck you and run, and then there were no people. We got 4 people, I think. I don't know if it's just including me. Yeah, I think it does.
Of course, it's including you and me. I'm always on the stream.
Whoever the other people are, show yourselves.
Yeah, who are you, Wasteman? Identify your ass. Jeez. Oh, someone went off.
Wow.
What a waste, man.
They got shook.
They had the challenge. I was like, nope. Not ready for the smoke. Good. Right, let me go on Twitter. Twitter's so good. If TikTok was not created, this would be the GOAT social media.
Rookie Camilla is in the Rising Star game. Oh, no shit. You had to be the criminal. He's from Congo, man. What a guy.
Things I want to see from the Jets in 2022. 3,500 yards from Zach Wilson. That's elite.
He's terrible.
Zach Wilson is not terrible. Zach Wilson is better than Jimmy G.
Yeah, I agree.
And he done more than Trey Lance did this summer. So get out of there, man.
Well, I mean, Trey Lance is literally like 19 or 20, whatever it is.
So is Zach.
Yeah, they both got drafted this year.
And Zach did way more. He hasn't thrown an interception in like
it's like
10 games.
But he plays for the Jets, isn't it? So are you sure he's better than Jimmy G? Is it too harsh? I mean, Jimmy G's not that bad.
I'm not saying Jimmy G's bad. I'm saying Zach Wilson is good. I put Zach Wilson as one of the, 15, 20 best quarterbacks right now. I'm not saying
20 best quarterbacks in the league.
Look, Jimmy G is not there.
Yeah, he is.
You're right.
Of course he is.
But that Corsa is definitely better than him. I'm sorry, but you just
What's
have to
this,
watch.
I was gonna say, what's this rumor of Tom Brady coming out of nowhere? Out of time?
I'll get onto it. I'll get onto it. We haven't finished
That
the
has come
football
from.
section yet because the stream got cut.
I mean, who else? I don't want to talk about Liverpool. Liverpool is shit. And if we talk about Liverpool, I'm just going to talk about him. No, let me do the Liverpool section
What?
now.
What?
Liverpool beat Burnley 1-0. Henderson was shit. And as soon as he went off, we controlled the game much better. Burnley didn't do anything. We didn't do anything. It was a very professional performance. Job done.
Yeah.
Man City will win the league. It comes to time. There's no title challenge in this league. Man City won it. The Champions League is where it'll be way more interesting because I don't know who. I can't really give one team.
Actually, here. You know them people, yeah, that say that the league is much harder to win than the Premier League. I don't think it is. Because here's my reasoning, right? If you compare baseball and NFL, we will all say that the NFL is much harder because you have to be perfect or at least better than the other team throughout the playoffs, right? In the same way, when people say, oh, the Premier League is harder because you need that consistency, normally the best teams always win the Premier League. Like, it's just a fact. If you're the best team in the league, your consistency will show. But with the Champions League, it's much more unpredictable. Anyone can win it. You just have to have a good run, and you just have to be on it. That's why I think the Champions League is much better, because realistically, City have been the best team in Europe, arguably, for the last 3-4 seasons, and they haven't won it. So it shows that it's much more harder to win the Champions League because you need to be on it for the final and both legs of the semis and both legs of the quarters. And if you're not on it, then you actually have to be better than you normally are for those other legs to make up for what you didn't do. That's why I think Champions League is much harder. There's much less scope for
Especially now.
mistakes. Yeah, because now there's like more superpower teams in the Champions League as well. So it's like,
and there's also no away goals rule.
Yep.
So now it's just strictly you have to win your games.
Yeah,
no,
I'm sorry, I don't get the away goals. So what? It's not like we didn't have 0-0s and boring games before with the away goal rule. It's not like teams didn't play for their home advantage. We got banged away from home while searching for an away goal in the Barca game, and then we went out and smashed them in the home leg. Like, it doesn't change much. It's just now you have to win. If they were going to change the away goal rule, then you just change it so that if it goes to extra time in the second leg, that away goals don't matter then, because that's an unfair advantage. But other than that, I don't think there's any difference. So what? These people are just crying for no reason.
They're trying to fix something that's not broken. MK. Me and you had this conversation over the weekend.
Oh, selling. Yes.
Well, basically, during the Manchester City versus Norwich game, Raheem Sterling scored a hat-trick, right?
Wait.
Fine.
Just a second. I'm going to create my own team. It will beat everyone. In what?
In football.
I'm confused, Shadowscaper.
I'm assuming it's football. My opinion is that when Raheem Sterling eventually does retire, he's just going to be another player in the Premier League. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm just saying he's not an exceptional player to go down as like top 50 ever. And we had this conversation.
That was fun.
Yeah, and I think he's three. I think he's going to be one of the greatest players. Should I say wingers in the league? But definitely top 15. He will retire as top 15, top 10. I think he'll be top 10 because I just think the way he's come from.
Are you saying
you're not going to get any arguments out of MK, I guess.
Are you going to be top 15 players of all time or top 15 wingers? Because wingers are a specific set of forwards. Because if we...
Oh, top 10 forward.
You're saying top 10 forwards?
Yeah. Do I count number 9s as forwards? I'm removing number 9s. Just strictly right wings and left wings. Obviously, number 9 have Shearer and Reed. wide players.
But then even
Alright.
if it's like top 15 wingers of all time in the Premier League,
No,
that's
he's
not to
very-
say that
he's
he'll
very
be
good.
like top 30 or 40 Premier League players of all
Here,
time.
for instance, right? People
No,
will have
no.
Robert Perez in the top 5, arguably. People don't talk about Robert Perez like that either. Like, he's barely brought up in conversations. So to be one of those greats that's consistently talked about, I'm saying potentially, right? Robert Perez is seen as a top 5 winger, arguably, right? Especially by Arsenal fans.
Yeah.
He's not talked about like that either. And he's arguably a top 5 winger. So to be talked about in the upper echelons that I think Usman's talking about, you have to not only be arguably the best player in the Prem or one of the best, like top 5 in the league at the time, you also have to be at least top 3 wingers of all time. And then you have to have some incredible other achievements to bolster your case. That's what Usman's talking about.
I'm not saying Sterling's a
And
crap
that's
player.
why I'm going to say this.
I'm not saying Sterling's a crap player by any means. I'm just saying he would just go down as another player.
That's why I think he'll be top 5, or he'll definitely have top 5 easily. Or forwards, winger,
I
sorry.
think so.
He's better than Perez right now. So in fact, he's already 5th.
If we're saying
Already
I
said.
only think the
if
earlier.
we're saying specifically forwards, I don't see any way Sterling gets into that conversation.
When you mean forwards, you mean the wide players, right?
Okay, let's say
Because I'm
wide players in the
not-
Premier League at the moment. Do you think Sterling's the best winger in the Premier League at the moment?
No. Do you think Sterling has ever been one of the best, the absolute best winger in the league?
No, because
So
I'm Salah,
if-
he can't be because
So at least
But he's
from
definitely
this point,
he's second or third. Yeah,
so
definitely.
from the time that Salah's been, that's 2017, right? And that's actually when he picked up form anyway. Because prior to that, he was a bit of a waste man, let's be real, right? He had the one good season at Liverpool, and even then he was incredibly wasteful, like pissed me off tonight. But 17-18 onwards is when he hit his stride, right? And even at his peak, he's never been considered the best. So that's already something that you can hold against him. And I know he was up for player of the season, but let's be real, yeah, that was very narrative based anyway. That wasn't because I don't even think he was the best player at City that season. There was other players that I can look to and say they had a better season. It's just Sterling has the narrative with the media. And I'm not saying that Sterling's a great, as in at the time it was an easy push to put Sterling up there because he was very prominent. But I don't think Sterling was the best then. And I like Sterling as a person anyway. And I think he's a good player, all right? I know I say he's shit a lot,
World class,
He did
man.
well
but I think he's good, right?
Yep.
And I
World
think he'll
class.
go down as eventually like a top 10 winger, maybe even top 5 if he steps up because he's entering his prime years, arguably now. That's what I've got to say with Sterling.
He's already on 100 goals at 26. What are we doing? He's retired at 150. He'll get more than that, 150 league goals.
But he's basically
That
played in
is
the Premier League.
legendary.
He's
What's that?
played in the Premier League his whole career.
And Wayne Rooney and these guys played in the Premier League the whole career, and they had
Yeah,
200.
someone like,
And
let's say,
Rooney,
Son, who I said is better than Sterling, hasn't played in the Premier League his whole career.
And he's also
Yeah, but
never
Sterling
played
and-
in a team as
Sterling
good
and
as
Rock-
Man City that creates chances at will like Man City. For instance, this is a constant thing I'll talk about with Sterling, right? If you put any other player in his position,
He'll
right?
do better than him.
So if you have Son in his position, if you have Mane in his position, would they do more? I think they would. Yes.
Mane, yeah.
Son,
Mane, I
Son,
can say
yes,
yes, 'cause Mane can.
100%. You put Son in that Tottenham team, he's arguably one of the best wingers in the world.
If you put Son in that Man City side, bro, if we talk about Son like he's one of the best finishers in the league, and Sterling is not. He's just objectively not a good finisher. He's an all right finisher. If you put the best finisher,
Sterling's better take on it. That's
but
way
if
better
you
take on it.
put one of the best finishers, not only in the Premier League, in the world, in that Man City side, bro, he's banging goals. I would, if you put Ronaldo in that Man City
As a
side
striker.
instead of him, this 37-year-old Ronaldo, he's banging goals. I'm gonna be real.
As a
Because the way
striker.
City play and the amount of chances they create,
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
that's true.
So like,
Ronaldo is striker.
I know it's easy to look at Sterling, look at his numbers and be mesmerized by them, but you also have to add context to it.
Yeah.
And yes, they're great numbers, but they could potentially be more with a different player. I think that's the argument that Usman is talking about, right? That the situation that Sterling has been in is very beneficial to him. And if you put others in, they could be doing more. Now, whether or not that's a fair argument, because you can always look back and say, well, this player was in a good system and he didn't do it. This player did. Obviously, it's always going to be unfair because we look at players differently and we look at certain players more favorably than others. And perhaps it's a romantic idea, the way that we see football, that we prefer players like Son, who's at Tottenham, who aren't always challenging, and you'd like to see him at a better situation. But that's just the way certain will look at Sterling, for instance. So right now, here's what I'll do. Let's go through some of the wide players that we regard as top 5, and we'll see where Sterling ranks around them. So obviously, I've got 3 certs that I think are definitely ahead of him, in Salah, Mane, and David Beckham. Now, if you guys have more, I will add on to that list.
I want to stop you at DB7.
Well, don't tell me.
What's he saying?
I don't count him as a forward.
No, but
He's not a winger to me.
Because I know that the position has evolved, but we can't. Let's be real, yeah. Essentially, these are wide players,
yeah.
Right? Now, what they do on the wing, right? Whether you're crossing in the ball consistently or whether you're a wide forward going in for goals, it's just showing the evolution of football right now. But if we had Beckham nowadays in here, he would be a winger and he'd be fantastic. Let's be real.
He would be terrible right now. He should cross the ball like a right back. He's a midfielder.
I'm not sure. He would be great as in midfield. But if you stick him in Man City, for instance, I'm not saying he's banging the goals, but bro, he'll be like another Mahrez, just better in my opinion, because he won't be such a waste man. He'll have to be better. What?
Yeah, it happened again. It's gone down.
No, I was on a roll there. Gosh.
How has
it happened again? Actually, no, never mind. We're still okay. No, we're still live. I think we're still live.
We're still live?
I believe so. Let's see. It looks like we're still live. I don't know how it's happening.
Oh, wait. I think we're live.
Screen.
Yeah, we're live. Okay, phew. If we went there, we apologize.
It don't look like we're live.
No, we are live.
We are, yes, we are allied. We've got Shadow Creeper saying something in the comments. Who's he then? Oh, but anyways, good. I was going to say, what was you saying? As you said.
That City team, you do more than.
Oh, you had David Beckham.
Yeah, because the closest comparison I could come for a David Beckham in the Premier League is a Riyad Mahrez, for instance. Now, I'm not saying they're on the same strike. I think Beck's is clear, right? But someone with that technical genius, all right? And then you put him just as a winger. And I wouldn't say Mahrez is a wide forward. He's a very prototypical winger that we've seen, like an Arjen Robben even. But I would say that David Beckham is definitely better than him.
Yeah.
So that's the 3 I've come up with. Now, whether you lot have more, that's we can debate that. And I think this is a more interesting conversation, to be honest.
But I don't really I don't know, that's just me. I just think Beckham and Mohamed Salah, Mane, and there's Sterling there. It just looks weird. Like, you don't dribble. I don't think Beckham's ever dribbled. I think Beckham has to be in the midfield category. In his own way, like a De Bruyne, right, playmaker, but wide playmaker. He's more of a, that's Beckham to me. I don't really have him out wide.
That's fair enough. How about this? Here's a Riyad Mahrez above Sterling. Now, here's the case I will make for Riyad Mahrez, right? Obviously, you've got his achievements at Man City, right? But what he did for Leicester is that's incredible. Like, he was the player of the season, I think, for them. And bro, him, Vardy, Kante, they were a three-headed a triangle of just destruction, right? And Mahrez was wicked that season, so I would have Mahrez above him, in my opinion. Then
I
we
had
go
him above
to
Sterling.
Gareth Bale. What do you think of that?
Not in a league long enough for me.
'Cause
He's more of a legend at
I
midfield.
I would agree with MK there. I think that Bale had like one great season, one really good season, and everything before that was just a bit there.
Are we
Young,
talking
he's young
just
then.
Premier League wingers?
Yeah.
Yeah, just Premier League. Not over. If we bring in overall wingers, we're talking about in the Premier League. Where would Sterling lie in Premier League? Like it's the Ronaldo case that people make, that he can't be the best over Henry because he was there for such a shortened space of time. If you count his whole career, obviously he's clear of Henry, but in the Premier League, he had what? He came in 2004 and he left in 2009. That's a 5-year gap. Whereas Henry came in 98, I think, and he left in 2007. That's 9 years. And for those 9 years, he was arguably the best for like 6 of them. 7, probably more. So Gareth Bale has been removed. Eden Hazard.
I have Hazard there too.
All right, so
100% better than Sterling.
And that's it. That's where I'm out. I can't think of any other name.
Alexis Sanchez.
No way, Jose. He's not there. No way. He's not. He's barely has a bigger legacy than Mesut Ozil. We were saying he's better than. No way. I'm not having it. Sanchez belongs with. There's Williams. You know Willian?
Yeah.
For Chelsea. That's him.
Here you go.
He's a man at what? More than his Arsenal days.
All right. How about here's a cert, I think. Ronaldo. He's definitely better than Sterling.
Don't say it, MK. I know you're thinking it. Don't say
We
it.
didn't have Ronaldo.
I don't care what your feelings are this season. Don't even.
Yeah, so we've got a top 5 here: Salah, Mane, Mahrez, Hazard, Ronaldo. Let's stick Sterling at 6 for now. But I will try and think of more. So we've got, who's a player? I was just thinking Ryan Giggs.
Ryan Giggs is better than Sterling.
No.
We're not having this argument. Ryan Giggs is better than Sterling.
Raheem Sterling better than Giggs. I'm telling you guys, Raheem Sterling is more revolutionary than Ryan Giggs. Ryan Giggs for me was Ferguson's love child. He should have left in 2007. He wasn't good enough for a good 10 to 12 years. And that's too long for you to not be good enough. People say, oh, he was in midfield. He was super mid in midfield. Darren Fletcher was better than him there. Carrick was better. Paul Scholes was better. He wasn't good. He was only good until that little FA Cup run where he had a run against Arsenal. And a few little dribbles there back in
95. Let's talk in Premier League history. Where does Sterling rank? Because he's definitely not top 20.
Top 26.
26? Didn't I give you like 30 names of people that were better?
We went through Man United
and
we thought 30 players better than Raheem Sterling in Premier League.
We found 23 people better.
Okay.
I said top 20 now.
Okay, it's back to the word list. It's back to the word list. All right.
I think he's 26.
So let's start at Man United. Rooney. Actually, wait. Let me number this.
Yeah.
Let me number this. Hold on. Shit. I'm gonna have to number this all. So Rooney is definitely better.
Also saying with Sterling, can you give me any example of when he's done anything extraordinary?
A few times. That little solo goal when he was like a 19, I guess, for Liverpool against Man City, where he chopped one away and chopped the other way, and after it was open net, and he obviously smacked it in. The winners that season where he kept scoring winners in the Tory season, the Southampton winner. He has good moments, but not obviously like the Aguero moment or Hazard solo goal Arsenal moment. Yeah, that's why he's not there yet, but he'll get a big moment.
How about Vidic? What do you think of Vidic?
Centre back. That's one Sterling will definitely take in a year.
Vidic is currently above him. Andy Cole, is definitely.
No.
Andy Cole is
Who?
better.
Andy Cole's 100% better than Raheem Sterling.
Right.
No, Andy Cole's better. Andy Cole's better.
Dwight
I'm not
York.
debating that.
Okay,
No.
cool. Eric Cantona, definitely.
Absolutely.
Cantona's successor, Bruno Fernandes.
That's very outrageous.
You set him up for that one as well.
That was
Bruno
good.
needs to oversee Lingard's impact at Man United more than
Ian Robson.
Cantona's. I have never seen Brian Robson play, but apparently it was great.
Solskjaer.
No. Ole Gunnar Champions League.
Now I'm actually going to think about it. Carlos Tevez.
No.
He won two Premier Leagues at two different sides, and he won the Champions League.
It's just an advanced Gabriel Jesus. You can't have him there.
Okay. Paul Pogba.
No. Can't be there. Pogba was won nothing in the Premier League. Can't be there. If you got Chelsea, you want to leave Chelsea, we're putting him in above Vieira
RBP.
in Premier League history. That's what we do. My boy's above Sterling. Come on.
Okay.
He's RBP.
Okay, now I actually have to think about Man United. Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Van Nistelrooy. No.
Sterling,
no,
no.
Van Nistelrooy.
Sterling's better footballer though. No, Sterling's better
Van
footballer.
Nistelrooy was
I have to
in
put Sterling there.
the Premier League for what, 3 seasons?
And he
And he missed the penalty
He
against
scored
Arsenal.
30 goals each
He-
season.
won the Golden Boot as well, but they didn't win. Wait, did they win?
No, we didn't. Arsenal won the league.
No, but besides the fact, 3 seasons.
You would have won it once.
So the 3
'cause-
seasons Van Nistelrooy was at
They won
Manchester
a league,
United,
yeah,
he
he had
scored
one.
30 plus goals each season. Sterling's never been on that level of consistency.
He's been on 2010, 15, 17. That's for me, really. That's good enough as a winger. Remember, Cantona, everything was onto him. Not Cantona. Ruud van Nistelrooy, everything was like fed into him, crosses and all that. And he got onto Ronaldo for not crossing the ball. He could screw himself. You are not better than Raheem Sterling.
He 100% is better than Raheem Sterling.
Okay. Let's kind
His
of
only great moment was the
Paul Scholes,
absolutely better. Paul Scholes is the best midfielder of all time.
Darren
In
Fletcher.
Premier League.
Whoa.
Aaron Fletcher.
Wait,
Come on,
are you saying best Premier League midfielder of all time or best midfielder of all time?
best Premier League midfielder of all
Okay.
time.
Fair, okay.
Um,
I thought you
all right, I'm gonna move on from United because I really can't think of anyone else because I think I've got everyone.
Fucking players.
Yeah.
You mentioned 5 minutes.
Yeah, I've got Rio there. The way.
We really
Oh,
mentioned Rio.
Patrice Evra.
No,
Gary
no
Neville.
way. No way. No way.
Okay.
Gary Neville's arguably one of the best right
Gary
backs in
Neville's-
Premier League history. He's one of the
Okay,
best defenders in
You know,
Premier League history.
I'm with MK on that. Gary Neville
Base,
is
right.
the personification of average.
So's Raheem Sterling.
Exactly. He's Jordan
That's the
Henderson.
whole point of everything.
You know what? Raheem Sterling is personification of
No,
world class
No,
wide.
Sterling's never been world class. Not even when he scored for England against Germany.
If you woke up now, woke up
Sterling's never been at that level.
last season.
Look, you know what? Yeah, MK reminds me of Sterling right now. He keeps cutting in and out. He disappears for a second, and then he's back in, and he's very prominent, and then he disappears for a long time. He's exactly
freeze in
like
the
Sterling, to be honest.
You tried to argue that Sterling was a better penalty taker than Harry Kane was.
No. I said I had a greater penalty. Like everybody remembers his penalty over Harry Kane's penalty. Harry Kane's more known for missing the one against Denmark and then rebounding it.
Sterling missed
Screw
one
it.
against Norwich and rebounded it.
Then Sterling scored a cup-winning goal against Chelsea top bins.
Yeah.
That's more of a great penalty than Harry Kane.
If Kepa didn't get off the pitch to allow Caballero to come on, that would have been a different penalty shootout altogether.
Oh, I thought I lost my
I don't
turn.
think so. Kepa's better.
Okay, let's move on to Arsenal. Thierry Henry, definitely.
Yeah.
Tony Adams.
No.
Yes.
Tony Adams, man. He's like Lewis Dunk, man.
This isn't even
It's not much
this isn't
different
even
to Lewis Dunk.
nostalgia merchant. This is actually Tony Adams was a great defender.
Look, you can
Overrated.
tell he's a great defender because his punditry is terrible as a result of CTE. So, using these factors, Yeah, I mean, Sol Campbell then. Did you say no or yeah? Yeah.
So Campbell. Right, give him to 1 year and he'll take care of everything. He's like Vidic. Vidic, he's going to take care of Vidic and Campbell. No way.
What do you mean? Carlo is a
legend.
legend. He's a legend of the Premier
Well,
League.
Well, Matip,
Can
more of a legend
I
than
just
Coach
chuck
Morgan.
something in here about Van Nistelrooy?
Okay.
Sterling's played 453 games in the Premier League and scored 157 goals, right? Van Nistelrooy played 180 and scored 100.
Incredible output, but that's because Ruben Shaw, the number 9, out and striker. He has no other game apart from that. Although he was all right in terms of holding up and everything, but Cantona for me, I think Sterling's really great.
Azam, who's next?
Oh,
he's still on Colo Torre.
My audio's still shit.
Robert Perez.
No, Sterling.
No.
All right, it's a 2v1. We're doing a vote. Robert Perez is in there. Freddie Ljungberg.
He was good for Arsenal. He was good.
Well, I would say that Sterling is better. Mark Overmars.
Due to recent events, I'm going to have to put Sterling in over him.
Yeah. Sorry, Marky. You're a
Mark
bit
Overmars.
He realised he was doing bad stuff. He didn't.
Ex Fabregas.
Not even close. It's not close.
What do you mean? No?
Yeah,
Fabregas was amazing.
Are you saying Sterling?
If you're talking to me about Van Nistelrooy can't do it because he had no game, Fabregas has more footballing ability in his pinky than Sterling has in his entire body. Let's be real about this. Fabregas was class.
If you're doing this, Pogba's in there too. If we're doing this, Paul Pogba's in there.
I'll stick Pogba about Sterling. I don't give a shit.
No, I'm not doing that. Well, I'm not doing that. We're having Fabregas and Pogba out of here.
Better than Sterling.
Again, it's a 2v1 vote. I'm sorry, Fabregas is in there. I would definitely.
Are you being biased because you hate Arsenal and Chelsea?
No. I like Chelsea. I want Pogba to go there. They're a great team.
Why the hell can I not find that silly article on Thierry Henry on the Athletic?
About what?
The Athletic done like a Premier League best list, and I'm trying to find that list.
Fabregas, you know what? I'll consider. I like Fabregas. He's there.
MK. Alan
Shearer. I'm not having no. Of course, Alan Shearer.
Okay, cool. I thought he was going to say no. I thought he was going to say because we played for Newcastle,
I
he
can't
wouldn't be there.
Alan Shearer's like top 4 in Premier League history.
Steven Gerrard.
Absolutely.
Gerrard.
Well, a couple of years, we might have a little debate.
No, we just won't have a debate. Harry Kane.
No.
Yes.
No, absolutely not.
Kane, 100%
Absolutely not.
Than Sterling.
What? All he's known for is kind of go against Arsenal in a 2-2 draw. He's less relevant than Ramsey. How about that? Ramsey's more relevant.
No, I don't.
Harry Kane got carried by he's done in the Euros. Just to forget that. And actually, Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw had a better tournament than Harry Kane.
He was top scorer for England at the World Cup. You remember that
World
Cup, right?
Terrible World Cup.
Well, there you go. I know I forgot someone. Roy Keane.
Oh, yeah.
Frank Lampard.
No, obviously.
We're checking the legends now. Yes, Lampard is better than
Sergio Aguero.
So Sergio Aguero's in there. Let's be serious.
David Silva.
Without Sergio Aguero.
Don't give me that. David Silva is definitely better than Raheem Sterling.
100%.
Yaya Toure. Definitely better than
That's not even a question.
Toure? Right? No, that's not a question.
John Terry.
John Terry's better than Raheem
No.
Sterling. What? No.
Nah.
No, okay, look, if you're putting Ferdinand above him, you have to put Terry above him too, because Ferdinand and Terry, there's a debate on who was better. Obviously, I think Ferdinand was better because John Terry is one of the most overrated defenders I've ever seen. All he did when defending was fall on the floor. I will stand by that statement. But John Terry is better than Raheem Sterling. He won the Champions League, he won multiple Premier Leagues, and he was the spine of that team as well. Come on.
You yourself.
Okay,
Grew up watching John
interesting
Terry.
one.
You know he's better than Raheem Sterling.
Dennis Bergkamp.
Oh,
Yes,
what?
Bergkamp is better than Sterling.
I'm putting him in there. Let's be real. Dennis
You're
Bergkamp.
scared to fly planes. I can't have that guy in my team. Raheem Sterling.
Ashley Cole.
He said Raheem Sterling.
Sterling. Ooh.
I mean,
Ashley Cole
Ashley
is
Cole is
arguably the best left back of all time. Because
Yeah.
he could do it both. We're putting Ashley Cole in there. Let's be real, boys. Let's be real. Okay, here's another interesting one. What about Vincent Company?
Nah, too injured, Brent.
Too many injuries. I agree with that. I'm not gonna lie. Vincent Company is, again, one of the most overrated defenders in my opinion. Because he was injured for half the time. And at the latter end of his career, I don't even think he could defend a lamppost. Guy just used to go to ground all the time.
Are you saying that Vincent Company is below Raheem Sterling in Premier League all times list?
Yes.
That's
Even I agree with that. I'm gonna be real.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't agree.
Well,
You're getting checked by company. It's just,
If we're talking,
it's just like a.
okay, we're
Nah,
just
look,
talking ability, or are we
it's a-
talking legacy as well?
everything. Yeah, if we bring in everything,
Yeah.
Sterling is above Company. I'm sorry. And it's a
Yeah.
2v1 vote. Me and MK agree
that's
on
fine.
that.
Go on then.
Okay, here. Kevin De Bruyne.
De Bruyne is better than Sterling.
That's a neck and neck, that one.
What do you mean?
Gotta give them a
Not
draw.
a neck and neck.
What? Come on. He's a neck and neck. He's draw. They're both teammates right now. And Sterling's contributed just as much as De Bruyne.
De
Bruyne's been
Bruyne
injured for half the season.
Twice.
And also, De Bruyne has a little injury.
And he's
request.
arguably
Sterling,
been the best player in the league for
For-
multiple
Yeah,
seasons.
for like the last
Whereas
4
Sterling
seasons.
hasn't
Bruyne's
touched
been
that.
out top.
KDB is better than Sterling.
Sterling
Come on,
was
man.
Kennedy.
Get real. Get real. Oh my god, Mo Salah was 25. I forgot about that. PDA
Miles-
broke. Yeah.
Miles Hayes says, "Yo, where's that hot white guy that's usually here?"
We had to remove him for
Being too sexy.
yeah.
But he's not better than
Yeah.
De Bruyne.
Ian Wright was
Same level.
Sterling.
Let's keep the same level.
You at the weekend were arguing that De Bruyne should be ahead of Gerrard in the all-times list.
Yeah. So
You
like
can't say Sterling and De
yeah, I
Bruyne are
agree.
neck and neck now if Gerrard's considered one of the best English midfielders that ever lived.
alright, let's continue.
Sterling, great.
Gianfranco Zola. Yeah.
Nah,
Yeah.
I done my research. He didn't pass the comps test, the eye test, or the 90 minutes test.
Oh my god.
Nah,
Have you never watched Gianfranco Zola? Bro, this guy again has more ability on his left pinky than Sterling has in his body. Gianfranco Zola is
Zola
incredibly
played for a Chelsea team before they got money, and he was brilliant for them.
Gianfranco Zola doesn't pass the eye test. Oh my god. If Gianfranco Zola doesn't pass the eye test, Sterling, you should be blind before watching that's a
let me recheck my statement. He's got good little dribble here. He can beat a man, but I don't think he can drive the ball from one end to the other. And I think he has to pass. I don't really like that about forwards. He's not really a wide player, but he's not really a striker. He's like a false 10. And I'm not quite sure if that fits into my greatness.
Gianfranco Zola is better than Raheem Sterling.
Gianfranco Zola was putting Man United defenders on the floor. My god.
So,
What?
do you know who else Man United plays on the floor?
I don't know their names.
Andrew Townsend, he's done that.
Yeah, but Sterling's never scored against Man United as far as I can remember.
No, he hasn't.
That's not an achievement. I think
Harry
everybody's got it.
Maguire
Way
on
cool.
the side. So it's not even like
Harry Maguire scored against Man United. He actually has for Leicester. But yeah, I just think that Lemmy could do that. It's a quick comparison because I'm not quite sure Zola is even passing the stats test. And okay, let me do all seasons.
59 goals, 42 assists.
Oh, what do we have here? He's got Ramsey's got 106 Premier League goals. And Zola has 59. Wow.
How many games are Sterling?
22 assists for Sterling. Just 311 appearances. But let me do minutes per goal. Oh, would you look at that? Minutes per goal.
But Zola played in a worse Chelsea side. He played in it before the money came in.
Yeah.
And he was
That's
also an old man. Let's be real. When he came, he was 30 years old, and he was still class. Come on.
Oh, he joined the Premier League at 30 years old?
Yeah.
Time to not avoid him outside this list. You have to be at least in your 20s.
No.
Gianfranco Zola is better.
No. 30?
Nah, that's a joke.
Have to be winning. I have to have Sterling.
Gianfranco. Gianfranco Zola is better than.
I think we outrank him 2-1 on that.
Yeah, we outvote you 2-1. Gianfranco Zola is.
MK.
Get out of it.
Makelele or Sterling?
Sterling, come on, let's be serious. Sterling, come on.
I have to agree with them because Makelele wasn't in the Prem for that long. But here's a fun one. Luis Suarez.
Not in the Premier League long enough. He snaked it.
But along with having he had arguably one of the best single seasons of all time, and he was the leader of that SAS strike force. And he made flipping Sterling look incredibly good.
Sterling complimented his game. It was great synergy. Him as Sturridge, Suarez.
Luis Suarez.
Plus Suarez was more known for scoring 4 goals.
Sterling in the Premier League all-time list.
Yeah, of course we have a Sterling over 1 year Suarez. Suarez left the league when he was great.
He won the golden.
He's a Barcelona.
Golden shoe. You know, I mean, he won a League Cup with us as well, and we were shit.
Yeah.
What about that Swansea striker that did this? What's his name? Michu. Michu had an incredible season for 1 year.
Yeah, but
for Swansea City.
Yeah, but Suarez is also up for Golden Boot twice. It's just sadly he started biting people.
Yeah.
So there's that.
And that is also part of the legacy. So because of that, get out of here. You're not in partner. You're not in Premier League.
And I don't mind that. N'Golo Kante is better than Sterling.
Yeah.
So let's just get that out of the way. Michael Owen.
No. He's injured for like 10 years. Let's be serious.
But
he can't just be good for 18 years.
Ballon d'Or.
When he was playing
at 18 or 19,
he won a Ballon d'Or.
And he won a treble with Liverpool at the time as well. And he won a Prem with Man United. Actually, you know what? He won a Prem with Man United. No, get out of here. I'm not doing it. Anyway, Virgil van Dijk.
Sterling's better than Owen. And Sterling's better than Van Dijk too. Because Van Dijk's centre back. And we can't have him above.
Van Dijk should have won the Ballon d'Or. And the FIFA's best. And we all agreed on that. And he's also more integral to the Liverpool side than Sterling is to the Man City side. Virgil van Dijk is better.
I disagree. I have Sterling above him.
And look, if you're talking about football ability, come on. Virgil van Dijk can take free kicks. He's a better header of the ball. He's a better passer of the ball. He might even be a silky dribbler than Raheem Sterling. And defending, nothing Sterling does is remotely close.
First of all, Van Dijk can't take free kicks. Sterling's a better free kick taker than him.
No, he's not. How many free kicks has Sterling scored?
I'm pretty sure more than 3.
Sterling free kick goals. How many has he had?
I'm convinced he got 3. Sterling's better free kick than Van Dijk. What are you doing here, man? Van Dijk's not that great free kicks. Sterling's free kick taker, that little video in Celtic, Rangers League, that's a terrible league.
I don't think the league matters when you're talking about free kicks, you dickhead.
It does matter because goalkeepers don't save there.
Shut up.
Just let anything go in.
No. Van Dijk is definitely higher than Raheem Sterling. Oh my God.
Nah.
What are you talking about?
I don't have Sterling above Van Dijk. Van Dijk needs to do more.
Raheem Sterling
he had an 8-0 point.
Seems to have never scored from a direct free kick.
That's absolute nonsense. I can remember 2 already. Unless you talk about Champions League, I can't recall. He's got Champions League free kicks. I don't think he has any Premier League ones. He's the Bryan takes holder.
Should we move on from this? How many players is that now, Hazov?
I'm currently on 34, and I haven't even finished a list. BBD is better. I'm not
Nah.
BVD is better than Raheem Sterling.
You got that guy should not be there in the first place.
Alright, Jamie Vardy.
I'm taking out a Village.
No, Jamie
Taking out
Vardy.
Village.
Village is just Eric Bailly.
Shut up, answer the question.
Yeah,
Jamie Vardy.
Village is out. Jimmy Vardy, whoa, I mean, one good year. Congratulations.
Excuse me, he's won 2 golden boots.
Where did all the gold come from? Where did
2
you
years
get
ago.
that? What?
Yeah.
You want to go to me?
Yeah.
That's not okay. Mo Salah won that.
No.
Mo Salah, Bamia, and Mane.
Yeah, and then the season after Vardy won it.
No, the season after was Harry Kane.
No.
Was he not?
1920,
What?
Vardy won it.
Have you put
pretty sure.
Salah on this list yet?
Yeah, obviously.
What
They're not
about
even
Mane?
close. Oh yeah, Mane is definitely better as well. Let's be real.
I'm struggling to call 1920 Vardy. Why am I?
Wait. 17-18, 18-19 was the draw. 19-20 or 20-21. He even won it 19-20 or 20-21. But no,
For sure,
last season Kane won it, and the season before Vardy won it. Yeah.
Did it?
Yeah.
What?
Okay. And he's won
I thought Danny Ings.
in right now the greatest what's it called, achievement in English footballing history.
So because of that miracle, we're going to put him there. Oh, God's sake. Okazaki there too.
Oh, my
Okazaki
bad.
there.
He's only won 1 golden
Where's
boot. He
Morgan?
didn't win it in the 15-16 series.
Yeah. Okay.
We
Not
got
there.
it over
Vardy's
it.
not there.
MK
We're
said
having Vardy there.
Okazaki's better than Sterling. Just saying.
Yes.
No, I said Okazaki
Robbie
miles will be there.
Fowler.
Vardy there.
Robbie
Vardy.
Fowler was better.
No way.
You know, yeah.
Oh,
this
no,
guy's
no,
just a
no,
hater
we're not doing
because
this.
Robbie Fowler scored the fastest hat-trick against Man United of all teams.
Well, Sadio Mane is scoring a fast hat trick. What does that mean?
Sterling,
Up
he's just a
until
bad player.
He's not better than Fowler. You can't talk to Sterling in that level. I think Sterling is better than Fowler. Fowler get out of the 1980s
Robbie
nonsense.
Fowler was better.
Okay, we'll go
Nice.
one more player and then
91.
we'll move on.
All right, one more player.
We stuck on 30. I removed 4 guys already.
Well, no, you didn't.
Village, and these guys are not there. What happened with Village? Nor am I having Sol Campbell. Sol Campbell being in there is an outrageous claim. Man.
They're both better.
All he's always known for is congratulations.
Still better than Sterling.
Yeah, but that doesn't.
Sterling's had the consistent years.
Regardless of the fact that Sol Campbell did that, it's still not proven the point. Sterling will go down as just an average Premier League player.
Average. Oh my! Yeah, this is we literally arguing.
How many seasons of Premier League has there been? There's been 31 seasons, so 31 seasons worth of Premier League winners, right? Sure, Sterling has won bare with Manchester City, but they've sure he's won 4 with Manchester City, but that's again not saying much because he's in one of the best sides in Premier League history.
He's part of this. He helps that team to be great.
I don't think personally. I don't think Sterling contributed much to that team.
He contributed absolutely everything to that team. Him and Sadio Mane, him Mahrez, him Aguero, him Jesus, and now him.
Contribute everything to that team.
He is the constant. Pep makes this forward as much.
Okay, let's go through Manchester City's teams, right? Ederson would be the goalkeeper, right? For the years that they've had, Ederson would be their goalkeeper. Correct? Ederson has given more to Manchester City than Sterling has the past few years.
Yeah.
If we're talking other Manchester City players, if we're talking defenders, Vincent Kompany is giving more to Manchester City than Sterling has.
I mean, well, yeah, agreed that he has given more, but not better.
Yaya Toure is giving more to Manchester City. David Silva's given more to Man City. De Bruyne's given more to Man City. Fernandinho's given more to Man City.
No, absolutely not.
Fernandinho's definitely given more to Manchester City than Sterling has. He's been one of the best.
I think for me, Rodgers better. Rodgers better than him.
Not Fernandinho. No.
It's so easy to replace DMs. DMs are the most overrated position. Anybody, you can put anybody there and they'll do the job. Anyone good. Like you put Fabinho there, you put Declan Rice there, you could put Basuma, they'll do the job at Man City. That for me doesn't mean anything. What means something for me is the fact that Sterling was there with Sane when he won the league. Thereafter he was with Aguero, Jesus and Aguero. Then after now he's with Phil Foden. He is the constant. He's always there when it matters. Sterling is the constant forward player. And that for me makes him a great Premier League great already at age 26. I remember he was only 26 with 106 Premier League goals. He can get 150 plus with 90 plus assists. That is legendary. You cannot tell me that's not legendary.
He's not had any legendary moments. He's not.
He's had a couple of great game winners, but not really.
Seasons when we've talked about Sterling, and I know you've been part of it as well. We've said Sterling's a stat padder. He doesn't start for Man City consistently. The only reason he starts for Man City consistently this season is because Grealish isn't up to scratch, and they didn't sign Ronaldo because you got in there before them.
But I think Sterling would have started with Ronaldo.
I don't think so.
Because Sterling's more overall better player.
Maybe games like Norwich at the weekend when Sterling scores a hat trick. But if we're talking games like Liverpool, Guardiola would he would 100% put Ronaldo ahead of Sterling. It's a big game. You wouldn't want Sterling to play that game if you have Cristiano Ronaldo on the bench.
I agree.
What other left-wing options or wing options do City have to play instead of Raheem Sterling that are better than him?
Foden. Grealish and Foden. No, none are better.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. They just haven't signed a player better than him when there are players better than him in the league, in the world.
Well, I think he's already top 5 wingers in the world. I could say top 4.
This season.
Definitely. Overall. Serge Gnabry's not better than him overall. Only Mbappe, Salah and Mane are better than him overall. I can say, yeah, I'm better than him.
Wingers.
The rest can't say that. Does Neymar count as winger?
Mbappe's a striker.
Okay, then let's take out Mbappe and put Neymar there. Well, I look at Mbappe more of a wide player, but we'll say Neymar. We'll say Neymar.
Wide player than Mbappe is. Messi as well.
Yeah. Messi's wide player.
Messi, he usually plays right wing.
I don't want to count Messi with no Ronaldo's. The Messi's and Ronaldo's, I never really like to count when it comes to the best.
Yeah, that's an issue though because they're still playing and still playing to a really high level. I know Manchester United team hasn't been up to scratch, nor has a PSG team, but they're still performing at a high level.
What
but then you could argue that Sterling has been. The fact he's a constant at Man City, that matters more than everything. He's there starting all the past eras that had Sane era, with the Foden era. With the Aguero era, now the Foden.
Yeah, he was going to go this season as well.
And Bernardo Silva. Wait, hold on a second. And Bernardo Silva. And now look what happened. Both of them are best players in the team. So Pep almost got it wrong. Almost. But guess what happened? Bernardo Silva and Sterling couldn't move. Both stayed. And then they're both going to deliver the Premier League. And for me,
I wouldn't say that it would have been in the wrong.
Just say a month ago that Liverpool were going to win a week ago that we were going to win the Champions League. You're so odd.
Jordan Henderson is not for me.
Okay, put it this way, MK, right? Obviously, Sterling didn't leave Manchester City. That's fine. Looking at the season, let's say Grealish played in that position all season long. Would Man City still be in the same position?
Because Liverpool, I know, they wouldn't be.
They would 100% be top of the league at the moment.
They'll be 1 point above Liverpool. Grealish a net negative. He's like a minus on the pitch.
He's your favourite player.
I'm a massive
right?
Yeah, because obviously Man City tried to make him basically joint out Grealish's game, which is not Grealish's game, but Grealish is going to win a league, so there's that. And Raheem Sterling can play the right wing.
Okay.
False nine.
The Norwich game at the weekend, if you took away Sterling's goal, Man City still win 1-0. The Brentford game, they won 2-0. Sterling didn't score. Mahrez and De Bruyne scored. They would still be in the same position. The Manchester City-Southampton game, Sterling didn't score. Laporte scored with De Bruyne assist. Sterling wouldn't have made a difference in that game.
I
The
think
Arsenal
he got the
game.
main goal against Everton.
Oh, we can't do that.
Riyad Mahrez
Oh,
scored a penalty and Rodgers
we can't
scored
use
in the
goals.
93rd minute. Man City would be in the same position. Brentford.
No, they will be first.
Foden.
No, but you can't do that. No, we're not doing this. We're not using this season as they don't need him. He's been integral in his performances, and Champions League he scored a massive screamer just yesterday. He's amazing.
You mean in the 5-0 win?
Oh, it's
He
freezing.
scored like 3 goals.
They beat Sporting Lisbon. We talked about Sporting Lisbon. We said they were the easiest draw in the Champions League.
True. I agree.
The only game Sterling before the weekend, okay, the only game that you take away Sterling's goals, that there would be some sort of like difference in the game would be the Leicester game, the 6-3 game, but they still would have won 4-3 if Sterling wasn't there, and that's not even saying what would have happened if Grealish played there instead of him.
They would have conceded more goals.
Because Sterling is a defensive genius.
But I'm sure, let me not do that. Yeah, Sterling tracks back. You know how great Sterling tracks back is and his work rate? It's probably up there in the best in the league. Like and working hard.
Okay. If we talk the Southampton game, do you remember the Southampton game, Man City Southampton, the 1-1 game from a few weeks ago?
Yeah.
If we talk about how Salisu played really well on the left-hand side against Sterling and Bernardo Silva on the right.
Yeah.
You put Grealish there. What happens?
Didn't he miss an open goal in that game?
He did. Sterling has missed multiple goals from in front of the face of the goal that I didn't even get onto. But that's fine. That's not what I'm trying to say. If you put Grealish in that team instead of Sterling, that Southampton game, what happens?
Yeah, Southampton game. The 1-1 draw. 1-0 Southampton.
The exact same thing would happen. It would end 1-1. Southampton start off for the City.
1-0.
No, it would be 1-1. It'd still end the same. Sterling had no influence on the game.
Kyle Walker Peters. Yeah, nobody played well that game for Man City. I don't believe they played any of them played well. But Southampton would have had more joy going forward. Because Sterling's a defensive winger and offensive winger. He's an all-round winger. He's top
When
player.
we said that Firmino was
But
a striker, everyone took the piss.
But the real argument is, you said he's an average. You said he's going to retire as an average player, retire with potentially 150 plus Premier League goals and 90 plus assists. That is
90?
Legendary stuff.
If
He's on 58 right now, so he can get 90.
He can pass the ball probably 32 more times in his career.
Yeah, I think 90 is possible. 90.
Okay, put this: if we put Son in that Man City team for the time that Sterling's been in that team,
They would have won the Champions League.
Son would have had more
I would've
goals
won
and
a league.
assists than Sterling had.
I tend to disagree.
What?
Because Son's never. When's the last time Son scored more than? Has he even scored more than Martial? 17 league goals. Son.
He plays for Tottenham.
Son. I don't think
We constantly take the piss out of Tottenham.
Martial plays Man United. We are just about Tottenham. We are just as bad as Tottenham. We are Tottenham. We are the red Tottenham. United are just like Tottenham. We're literally carbon copy of Tottenham Hotspur.
Tottenham.
We've
We've talked
shocking
about
teams.
Tottenham before. We know Tottenham aren't good.
I mean, Son has 9 this season.
And yeah, you know,
He had 17 last season.
Sterling has 10. Yeah, that's the same amount as Martial. Martial has 17 in his best season. So Martial's best season and Son's best season is basically the same.
Well, they do both play for shit teams. If
That's
Martial
class.
played for Man City, I think he might have more Premier League goals than Sterling as well.
I disagree too. I don't think Martial has that.
You're
Okay.
comparing the wheels on a Ferrari to the wheels of a BMW and saying, well, these wheels aren't as good as that one, but the Ferrari's wheels are obviously the Ferrari car will be better and will be more beneficial to the car. You can't say this player is better because he plays in a better system, and so we can't say that this guy, even though he doesn't get the goal returns, is worse as a result. That's why you said put them in similar positions. And they were in similar positions. Or worse even. Sterling was at Liverpool. We played him as a centre forward and he was fucking dog shit. One of the worst centre forwards I've seen in my life. Good lord. His performance against Man United alone should take him out of any conversation. My guy missed like 2 1-on-1s and multiple open goals. He scarred me for life. Arsehole. You think I remember? Don't
That's like
Before we move on, I
19
quickly
years
want to
old.
add,
18 years old.
if we look at Sterling and Son's stats in the Premier League, right? Son has played 120 games less than Sterling. He's got 30 less goals.
That's poor.
How?
Son has 127 goals. Sterling has 157, with 120 games more.
No, Sterling's most of these games was as a teenager. He's played a lot of games as a teenager, you know.
Minutes per
But
goal?
Son's probably better than this guy. I think Son's a better goal scorer, but Sterling's better player.
154 to Son, 178 to Sterling.
Oh, that's not far. I thought I mean, Martial's minutes per goal could look better than Sterling's. It wouldn't be nothing.
Sterling scored 1 free kick in the Premier League, by the way.
That free kick than Van Dijk.
Van Dijk scored 2 free kicks. I need a defender.
Sterling's got 50 times the league. Sterling's got 50 times the league, by the way.
You got what?
Free kick in Champions League. He's got a free kick.
Then they're equal. Anyway, Virgil van Dijk's reputation in the Champions League is also better.
Who?
Virgil van Dijk, his reputation in the Champions League is also much better. You know, he's a winner, unlike Sterling. While Sterling, what did he do in the Champions
Wait,
in both of Sterling's biggest games of his career, the Champions League final and the Euros final, what the fuck did he do? If you could explain to me what he did, I would back off. But what did he actually do? He's gone. I officially broke him.
All right. I think we talked about Sterling for the majority of this one.
Let's close out on the what's it called? Sixers trade. We're talking about that before.
We'll move on to NBA. As we know, the trade window closed last week. The big trade happened between the Nets and the 76ers.
Sterling has a better goal to game ratio than Martial. That's proven that Martial is absolutely shite. So you'll just be left with 2 packies.
Yeah, boy, as it is every other week. Yeah, okay. Obviously, the Nets got the better end of the trade, it seemed.
Yep.
What do you think the difference is going to be going forward for both teams?
The
Who do you
Nets,
think it will benefit more? Let's say.
the Nets, because the Sixers got rid of some key rotational pieces.
Yep.
And just depth pieces with Drummond and Curry. The Nets now have a presence in the paint. And with Simmons, part of the problem with Simmons at the Sixers was that he was needed in the clutch. But when you have Kyrie and KD, he won't need to take shots anyway, and he just needs to get the ball to them.
Yep.
Yeah, I think, and Ben Simmons is one of the best defenders in the league, so it obviously helps the Nets more than the Sixers, I think.
Yeah.
But James Harden and Embiid will be a monster duo. So.
Oh. I don't know if he's back or not. I'll wait, MK, I'll kick you from the chat and then you come back. That should be it. You're iffy. Joel Embiid.
That's awesome.
Is he your MVP?
Iffy again.
No.
Who is your MVP at the moment?
Giannis and Jokic are both ahead of him.
MK?
No. Who my MVP is?
Yeah.
Is it weekend?
Right now, this minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I make an opposing argument for no reason, even though I kind of agree with Az's point, anyways?
Yeah, go on then.
Just for no reason.
Oh, he's gone again. Oh no.
Okay.
Oh, he's
Yeah,
Curry. You say Curry? I think he said Curry.
Is it?
Of course he said Curry. You can never keep Curry's name out of his
Steph
mouth.
Curry.
Yeah. All right.
I was gonna think about Giannis. I was gonna think about Jokic, but then I was like, nah. Huh?
I was
Let me
going
look
to
up all of
move
it.
on, but if you have something to say, please let us know.
Me, can you hear me? No.
Yeah.
Bugging
No,
out.
we can hear you.
Okay, if we look at all
Oh.
of their stats,
Cool. Steph Curry.
Steph Curry has the least amount of points,
Yeah.
the least rebounds, obviously. He has the second highest amount of assists. He has the most steals. Obviously, he has the least. When did Steph Curry block anyone? That's what I want to know. He has the field goal percentage, the second highest. Oh no, he has the highest 3-point percentage as well.
Steph
And
Curry's
for plus minus, he's the highest as well.
So MK is MVP of Steph Curry then.
Oh well, who else was it going to be, man? The guy rides the Steph.
Personally, I am a bit partial to Sengun being MVP. Just putting that out there, or Splash Gordon, obviously. Talking about the Sixers and Embiid. Apparently, the Sixers, when at the end of the season, when Rivers' contract is up, I believe, they're eyeing up D'Antoni.
Oh, they're bringing him back. Harden's gonna love him.
Yeah.
Sengun.
And the main problem for the Rockets team before was they went.
That's too funny.
So they didn't have much paint.
Jalen Green in it.
What?
Yeah, 100%. Sengun is better than Sengun.
He's
Has been
class.
the best
Sengun,
rookie
man.
this season. It's not even close. In my
Jonathan Kuminga and Mobley as an argument.
3-point demon.
in my
Alright.
opinion, it's
Play for free.
Your opinion.
Kuminga and
my opinion is completely right, and I'm not gonna hear any arguments against it.
Nah, Sengun's trash.
No, he's the best, technically European player in the league. Is the best European player the league's ever seen, in my honest opinion.
Excuse me. Arguably the best European player also played for your franchise, you asshole.
No, is it?
Hakeem.
Yeah,
Come on.
but no, it's Sengun. Sengun's clear, man. He's. I think this season specifically, Sengun's proven that he's the future greatest player of all time in the NBA.
Shut up, Shut up. Don't even annoy me. Shut up.
Oh no, it's a bad thing to say that because our next topic is the New York Knicks.
Can we not? I don't want to. I actually don't want to. We're just shit, man. Like, end of conversation. We're shit.
For after the All-Star break.
Nah, because we're gonna be shit then. We're shit now. We're just shit. We need to sack Tibbs. Tibbs out. I'm done with him. Flipping fat chode. He pissed me off. Get out my face, man. Man. I hate him so much.
Okay, before we move on, actually, we'll move on now. At the weekend, Sunday night, the LA Rams beat the Cincinnati Bengals to the Super Bowl.
Do we have to talk? I know you don't want to talk about it.
I don't, but it happened in the week, so we have to talk about it. Well, I mean, we don't have to talk about it.
Alright, here's my thoughts. The Rams won. Yeah, Cooper Kupp had arguably he had the greatest wide receiver season ever. And Matthew Stafford is still shit. That's about all I have to say.
If the
And I would
Bengals,
die on the hill that he's just shit.
if the Bengals had an offensive line, we wouldn't be talking about the Rams. Which was the biggest thing that everyone said about the Bengals going into the season. They've got no offensive line. Joe Burrow went down last season and they didn't do anything. They went into the fucking draft and were like, okay, instead of going for an O-line, let's just go for Jamar Chase because, we like that.
I mean, Jamar Chase
Which
was
is
sick.
fair.
Let's be real.
It's fair.
They,
But at the same time,
I think they could have
extra
made some
fucking
trades or
quarterback.
something. They could have done some trades to try and support him, but they didn't. So.
They didn't.
All right, I might have to go crazy and champ is in there. Okay. Where is he?
MK's still here. All right, MK. Well, since we're on the topic of NFL, the 49ers do not need Tom Brady.
I agree.
Why not?
Okay.
I just want to know
When
why.
when we traded for Jimmy in 2017, when we originally had the call with New England, we didn't call about Jimmy Garoppolo. We called about Tom Brady.
Oh,
The New England said, we
What
don't
happened?
want to give up Tom Brady. So we said, okay, give us Garoppolo. At New England, at the time, Bill Belichick knew
Yeah.
that his successor to Tom Brady was going to be Jimmy Garoppolo. But they traded us Jimmy instead of Tom Brady. Then Tom Brady left and he went to Tampa. Now Tom Brady's retired.
Old
In the
man.
offseason, when Tom Brady said that he was leaving New England, we could have gone in for him. Correct?
Yeah.
There was no point for going into him because we had Jimmy. Now, the only issue with Jimmy, other than the fact that he can't throw a ball, the only reason I say that at the end of this season is because he had 2 injuries to his throwing arm, but Jimmy won, and he was injury prone, which is why it was better for us to draft a quarterback going forward rather than getting Tom Brady, because if we got Tom Brady, right, we wouldn't have got Trey Lance. We would have been Tom Brady and like Josh Rosen or something. And Josh Rosen
Lord.
isn't our quarterback for the future. So getting
You
Tom
should-
Brady from economical point of view and from a franchise point of view would have been a bad move altogether. Aaron Rodgers, you can make a case, okay, if we went for Aaron Rodgers, then maybe we could have won something.
Okay.
But the same problem comes in because we'd have to give up at least 2 or 3 first-round picks going forward. So we would have lost the one 2 seasons ago. We would have lost the one this season. We would have lost the one next season. This season, going into the draft, we've got no first-round picks because we traded forward to get Trey Lance, which is fine. Trey is a double threat as a quarterback. He can run and he can throw the ball like a motherfucker, which we saw this season. Yeah, sure, his first game against Arizona wasn't the best, but the game against the Texans, when Kyle Shanahan actually trusted him to throw the ball, he proved his worth. Sure, it's the Texans, but going forward, I would much rather have Trey Lance than Tom Brady because he's still got his whole career ahead of him. Tom Brady will get a season out of, and that'll be it. It doesn't make any sense going forward for the 49ers. Same as trying to trade for Aaron Rodgers this offseason. There's no point. It wouldn't make any sense because he's got like 2 or 3 seasons left in him when Trey has his whole career ahead of him because he didn't play once. He played 2 games this season. And the system fits him.
To play in the playoffs. Why not just have someone that can throw? Because
Trey can throw.
Jimmy G actually has a strapped arm. Yeah, but Jimmy G has a strapped arm in it. So why would we risk playing an injury?
No,
Even though he played all right, actually.
the question comes in then. Oh, what if we had a better quarterback?
Wasn't bad.
Tom Brady wouldn't back up to Jimmy Garoppolo. No way would Tom Brady back up to Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, no way.
But then go
No way.
season.
We having a laugh.
You wouldn't. If we did get Tom Brady, we would have given up Jimmy. Jimmy was the starting quarterback for the franchise from 2017 onwards. speaking technically, getting Tom Brady would have been a step back for Jimmy's career. It would have been a step back for us because we still would have moved on from Jimmy next season. Even if we got Tom Brady probably would have still retired this season had he not won the Super Bowl. Would have played another season, and then Jimmy would have been gone next season as well, unless we gave him a lucrative contract. So this season, specifically if we're talking about the playoffs, yeah, sure, if we had a different quarterback in than Jimmy, we would have done something. But no. Well, you wouldn't...
In conclusion, Tom Brady is not as good as Trey Lance.
Well, let's not do that, obviously. We're putting bad pressure on him, but I don't think we even reached nowhere near that level.
Don't worry, it's
Think,
not
but
that much
if you
pressure.
could throw, I just want him to have a great relationship with likes of Kittle and Debo. As long as that happens, that's cool. We can't.
Trey already, I think when he when he was training the season, had a great relationship with Ayuk, who really proved his worth this season. I think Ayuk was underrated.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he was class. Him.
Going forward, we have an incredibly scary team. I think.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, that's nuts. We can't beat our winner, man. We're nuts. Well, actually, the only issue we had last season, I mean, just what happened this playoffs, was like, well, who dropped that catch again? What's his name? Apparently, he's had one of the worst seasons.
Jaquaski Tart, I think it was.
Yeah,
it was hard.
Apparently, he's not had a good season. So he might be low confidence.
I mean, the main issue that we had all season was that our cornerbacks couldn't stay healthy. We had no corners for the majority of the season. Then we got Josh Norman, who was fucking shit. I hate Josh Norman with all of my being. Fucking hell. Every time he was on the pitch, he gave up a pass interference. The only time in the season when he came on and didn't fuck up was Green Bay.
What a surprise.
So going forward, the issue is not going to be quarterback. It's going to be the secondary of the defense.
Team. Yeah. So you think Trey Lance is the future we're using?
Oh, 100% Trey is the future. I don't see anyone else going in there ahead of him. I don't think we should make any quarterback trades. I think if we're going to go forward with any trades, it should be for cornerback. Not quarterback. Quarterback should just stay as it is. If we're going to make any trades, then look to either get a better backup, because I think at the moment it's like Josh Jacobs or something, or Rosen, but I'm not sure if he's there anymore. But if we're going to get a backup when we trade Jimmy, then get someone who is actually good, I'd say.
Trey Lance is like a decent backup.
Yeah, I mean, this season,
so go with
regardless of what happens, it's going to be Trey's first full season, so we can't get onto him. Obviously, we're sort of a win-now team, but going forward the next 2 seasons, we still have a really good team, and we'll still have a really good team. I know Bosa's going to get a big contract, Debo's going to get a big contract, Ayuk will probably get a big contract, Jennings will probably re-sign. I'm not sure if Mostert will come back, but if he does, he'll be a great third running back.
Harvey Elliott starts.
Oh shit, lovely.
I think that means Henderson is not starting. Yes! I'm so happy! And Konate starts. Woo!
Damn it.
Alisson, Arnold, Konate, Van Dijk, Robertson, Fabinho, Thiago, Elliott, Mane, Salah, Jota.
Alright, here's how I want to end the podcast, right? So recently we all saw the Doctor Strange trailer. And in that trailer, that dumb red bitch has a line where she goes, essentially, when you fuck around with the universe, you're a hero. But when I do it, I'm a villain. And some retards, as a result, came out and were like, it's because of sexism. Yeah. And I just want to make things clear because I already said in a TikTok, but I'll say it again, right? Number one, Wanda is the main villain of Doctor Strange 2. So that line is probably from a speech from the villain, you fucking idiots. Number two, this is not this gender card because the difference is Doctor Strange was trying to help a kid who had his life ruined by some twat with glasses, right? And he had a perfect spell, and Peter ruined it. And then he had to fix it as a result. If Peter wasn't an idiot, the spell would have been calm. Number three, Wanda enslaved a whole town and forced them to all be part of her little stupid like TV show. And people that said she didn't know, shut up because she found out and for a week she did nothing, right? Everyone after Infinity War and Endgame had trauma. She's the only one that went and enslaved the town. That's the difference. There's no sexism, there's just idiots. And Wanda is the biggest idiot in the MCU. So don't come out here with your bullshit Wanda takes about how she's conflict. No, she's a shit character. And anyone that defends that stupid line is an idiot. Gosh. Done. Fucking women.
What a rant. Round of applause for that
I think that's a perfect way to end it. So, we would do a Premier League
God, we need to clip out. We need to clip that last bit. Usman, remember this? What is it? Well, like an hour and 55 in. When I had my monologue on Wanda, we're gonna put this back and we're gonna stick it as a clip on YouTube.
Okay.
We're gonna make it on TikTok as well. God.
Lovely stuff.
That's a perfect way to end it. We'll forego the Premier League predictions for the weekend. Just looking ahead, the big game of the weekend is Man City Tottenham at 5:30 on a Saturday, so look out.
Yeah, Man City are winning that 2-0.
Man City versus who?
Tottenham.
Actually.
4-0 City.
You know what? Yeah. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go 1-0 Tottenham.
4-0 for you, man. Let's be
I'm
sure.
going mental. I just can't take it.
Thank you, everyone, for watching. We'll be back again next Tuesday with our debate. I'm not sure we'll be on it, but I've started thinking of questions. We'll be back next Wednesday with This Week in Sport. We'll recap the Champions League from this week. Thank you, everyone, for watching, and we'll be back very soon. Peace out.
Peace.